2005, 2006, especially in my eyes, it seems like TNA was really aggressively going after former WWE talent. I know other people are coming like Christian Cage, as he was known there, but who are you most excited from WWE to see come over? There was Team 3D, Kurt Angle, Rhino, a number of others, but who were the guys that you enjoyed talking
I'd
with,
say the
working
one
with?
that made the biggest impact was had to be Kurt. Every one of those guys, every one of them was a huge addition for TNA. But I'd say Kurt made the biggest impact. He was the probably the biggest name, and I'd put him on the top of the list as far as in my days of being probably the best wrestler there ever was. So to have him come in there, and to be honest with you, this is just my opinion, but I think he was at the peak of his career in his TNA days. He was so early on in WWE in his early days, although many have said that he picked it up the fastest out of anybody ever has. But he was still in his first few years of the business. I think he really came into his own in TNA and had some of the best matches of his career. I think even he would say that. So I think Kurt was probably the biggest impact. Christian, definitely. I got to work with Christian and became friends with him. And so I really loved having Christian there.
Just go back on Kurt Angle, because I thought I'd bring him up again, is you said you thought he was best in TNA, he had his best matches. Now, that's obviously going to be partly the opponents he's working with as well, but how do you think from watching him on WWE television to seeing him live and working with him in TNA, where do you think he improved?
He became a ring general. In his days with WWE, he was in there with guys like Austin, Triple H, the Rock. He was in there with guys that they looked at Kurt as the new up and coming guy. So he was more likely to listen to them and get through a match, and he succeeded in every way possible. With TNA, I felt like he had really come into his own to where he could lead his matches, and he knew what to do, when to do it. And you put him in there with somebody like an AJ Styles, who had come into his own at the time, and they're going to make magic. And I just think that I remember thinking, because I had only known Kurt from TV and what I saw in the matches kind of as a fan. But seeing Kurt work not only in the ring, but seeing how he conducted himself outside the business, I just looked at him and I was like, that is a machine, man. Because his injuries had started to stack up then. So I saw the way he would walk in the back, and he was really hurting and sometimes in bad shape. At least that's what you think. But I'm telling you, man, when he goes through that curtain, that music hits, he goes through the curtain, you would never know that. And he gets in the ring, and the man is just a machine, and he can go all day long. So those are those subtle differences are the things that I noticed. There's no denying his in-ring work, but just to see him go out there and just perform was just amazing.
Was there any times where Kurt Angle was doing something in the ring and it just seemed too risky, and you're like, just in case his head fell off his shoulders or something, because he had a terrible neck, he broke it twice. I mean, it's amazing he was wrestling at all.
Oh, sure. I mean, yeah, you think that all the time because he came in with neck injury. So anything revolving around the neck, I always got scared when he did his moonsault.
Yeah.
I always got scared of that because that can jar a neck, and then obviously his knees. You get your knees banged up there, and then I remember when he went climbing up the cage and did his moonsault off the cage. I thought, what are you thinking, man? But that's just shows you, what goes on in his head, man. He's willing to put his body on the line just to perform for the fans and to make it an incredible match.